Am I the a-hole for refusing to see other options for a girl and pressing charges for what she did to my son's car? My son, Bryce, 17 male, dated our neighbor, Lana, 17F, for a year. They broke up mid-January for reasons I don't know. I won't sugarcoat this. I never liked Lana. She always seemed a little unhinged, controlling and aggressive. She's always demanding Bryce's attention, and there were quite a few times when she showed up on our house out of nowhere. Whether it was 7 a.m. or 11 p.m. because Bryce wasn't answering his phone, screaming and calling him a cheater when it wasn't like that. The thought of our son getting abused by his girlfriend made us worried so much. My wife and I tried to talk to him out of that relationship. We said how that it wasn't normal nor healthy. We didn't want to force a breakup because we feared Lana would lash out to him, so we tried to do it in a sneaky way. We don't know if it worked, but they ended up breaking up. He said that after he broke up with her, Lana didn't contacted him, which was weird because he expected her to go nuts. But I told him that if fate didn't give him shit, he better not seize it. Now the problem is that we bought my son a car for Christmas. Nothing fancy, but enough to get him to school, his job, and eventually college. He parks it in our driveway outside our home. Ever since the month began, we had been finding scratches all over the car. We know Lana was doing it, but since it was minimal, my son decided to not do anything even if we could prove that it was her. We have CCTV. Still, nothing smelled bad for me, so I decided to switch one of the cameras facing his car directly just in case. Well, 2 weeks ago, we got up and we found my son's car covered in a lot of shit. Paint, glue, feathers, confetti, the door handles were wrecked, flat tires, paint all over the windows. You get the picture. Bryce and my wife were so distraught. We called the police and I handed them the CCTV that showed Lana and her brother, 23, destroying my son's car. We pressed charges and needless to say, Lana's brother went straight to jail. But since she is still a minor, her parents want to make a deal but I refused. I don't think she should get a way out. Before the police was here, she was laughing her ass off and she tried to play it cool. If she thought this was funny, then she's old enough to face the consequences. My wife and I want to stand our ground. They said they'll buy my son a better car and put Lana on therapy, but it's not enough. Am I the a-hole? Now for the top comments. Here's a comment from Lonely3. Not the a-hole. This is the wake-up call Lana, her brother, and her parents need. Here's another comment from Soker6158. I can't picture my very much adult brothers helping me wreck my ex's car just because I'm bitter. They'd rather snitch to my parents and help me avoid getting time in jail than being the cool bro. Not the a-hole. What the hell? Here's another comment from Period Blood Ice Cream. I can see it. She seems like the type to make up a bad shit crazy story so her brother helps her get revenge. Here's another comment from Crooney35. Yeah, unfortunately I've dated girls like that, with brothers who were POS. Unfortunately, I never dated girls that lived within 45 minutes of me back then and they didn't have cars. I wouldn't have been surprised if this would have happened to me, but why does it matter if they will buy another car for your son? They are going to end up paying for one after the court case is over anyway. Another comment from Soker6158. They probably want to buy her way out with a better car. I mean, if they'll have to pay for Bryce's new car, anyway, they might as well try their chances. My cousins messed up big time a few years ago in a completely different case. One already had a record and the other one was a first offender. So my uncle tried to save the last of them because he stood a chance. I'm guessing Lana's parents are doing the same. Next story. Am I the a-hole for refusing to give my boyfriend my PIN number after he took my credit card without consent? Titles sound horrible, but give me a chance to explain. I, 24 female, have been seeing my boyfriend, Martin, 30, for 8 months. He's super funny and sweet. He's currently out of job for health reasons, but he's actively looking for a new job. This is our first major fight, and I'm not sure whether I was at fault here. 2 days ago, we spent the night together and he went to the store early in the morning to buy some groceries. Unbeknownst to me, he took my credit card to shop with it. I got woken up by him calling asking me to give him my credit card PIN number. I was confused. I asked why, and he said he went grocery shopping with my card and forgot to ask me to give him the PIN before he left. I got mad and felt quite violated. I told him I was sorry, but I gave no permission for him to go out and shop using my card. He sounded confused and said he was just trying to buy us breakfast and it only costs $20. I said I was sorry but refused to give him the PIN number. He obviously sounded upset and asked why. I told him because he didn't consider getting my permission to take my card and use it. He said, "Alright then. Guess no breakfast for us," then hung up. I called and called but no response. He returned and handed me the card back, then went on to complain about how he was just trying to buy us breakfast and that he wasn't intending on making a huge purchase. I said I understood, but it's all about consent to me. He seemed pretty irritated and upset, though he said it was fine. He left after this and hasn't returned my calls. He then texted that he wasn't intending on stealing from me and that he thought that I wouldn't make such a fuss about it, and that he did get my permission when he called to ask for the PIN number, but I feel like it's just me feeling like he violated my boundaries. He's been upset since then, saying I ruined our time together by making a huge deal out of it and embarrassing him at the store by making him return the stuff he bought at the register. Gosh, I feel like I was such an asshole here, but I think that he could have asked first. I want to hear what you guys think of this. Am I an a-hole or not? Now for the top comments. Here's a comment from Reasonable Raccoon. Thought that I wouldn't make such a fuss. Being upset, saying I ruined our time together, embarrassing him. He is emotionally manipulating you. This is all on him. He took your card without your consent. That's the issue there. You're not obliged to share your PIN with anybody. If it's only $20, why didn't he pay for it? Not the a-hole. Here's another comment from Archery on Thursday. Not the a-hole. Don't let people touch your finances. This is exactly what happens. And then you wake up one day, 10 years married, and discover he has put you $20,000 in debt, all in your name, because his credit was too poor to even get a credit card in his own name. My ex did this kind of thing. He would take cards without asking, and the purchases got bigger and bigger over the years. My ex was an alcoholic, and I am still paying off alcohol purchases of his. Even though he is 8 years sober, and we are 1 year divorced after a 3-year separation. Still paying medical bills for his dog we put down in 2016. Even after he was ordered to pay half our credit card debt, I haven't seen a dime. Not only is OP not the a-hole, but personally, I think this lack of boundaries is reasonable breakup material. Nothing you say will convince him that he should change. Poor boundaries will land you in scary places. Here's another comment from Poopy Clater. Not to mention, to make online purchases, all he needs are the numbers, the code on the back, expiration number, and possibly the PIN number. If I were you, OP, that card would be cancelled and replaced with a new one. Not the a-hole. Here's another comment from Ania T. Yes, and it's a crime. I wouldn't even waste time explaining things to a thief and scammer. Steal my card? You're out and lucky I didn't report you to the police.